Greetings, my scattered brothers and sisters in the Lord. Trust you know the Lord is with you wherever you find yourself scattered today, and that you know that his presence with you is more than enough for whatever you might face today. Well, I'm still chewing on Paul's prayer for the church at Philippi. Need to take one more session on it. This is the prayer that your love would abound still more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you might be able to discern what is best, approve what is excellent, and that you would be pure and blameless at the day of Christ, being filled with the fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ to the glory and praise of God. The part of the prayer I want to focus on today is being filled with the fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ to the glory and praise of God. There's a couple ways to think about fruit of righteousness. One way is that righteousness is the fruit. That Paul's prayer is that we would be filled with this fruit, this righteousness. And this righteousness comes from Jesus Christ, and it's to the glory and praise of God. Righteousness is basically to be put in right relationship. And so to have right relationship with God and right relationship with each other. And that righteousness, that gift of right relationship and power for right relationship, that comes through Jesus Christ. Through his death on the cross, his giving of himself, we are placed in a right relationship with God and empowered to live in right relationship with God and with each other. So that's one way to think about this fruit of righteousness. A second way is that it's the fruit that is produced by righteousness. That where you have righteousness, you are going to have fruit. And the fruit of that righteousness would be things like peace and joy. That when relationships are right, then there is a peace that arises. When relationships are right, then there is a joy that arises that's produced by those right relationships. And again, this would come through Jesus Christ to the glory and praise of God. And I kind of prefer this second approach to it, that through Jesus making us right with God and now working in our lives and giving us power for right living with God and with each other, then out of that there arises the fruit of righteousness, the fruit of joy, the fruit of peace, the fruit of being in good standing with each other. And all kinds of fruit just kind of comes out of those right relationships. A fruit of unity, another one we could point to. And so hear the prayer. This is my prayer, that your love would abound still more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, and that your love would be smart. You would have wisdom in your loving decisions, and that knowledge would be filled with love. And so that knowledge isn't used for in terms of self-centered ways, but knowledge used to build others up. So that your love would abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you would be able to make wise decisions, the best decisions, that you would approve what is excellent. And in that decision making, pure and blameless, operating with integrity and no hypocrisy that would cause others to stumble and fall. And that in all of this, filled with the fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ to the glory and praise of God. That we would make such decisions, such wise decisions, such Jesus-led decisions, that we would be filled with this righteousness that comes from Jesus, and out of that would come fruit to the glory and praise of God. Fruit of joy, fruit of peace, fruit of unity, fruit of humility in our relationships, all of this fruit coming out of this righteousness that's accomplished by Jesus, that's empowered by Jesus to the glory and praise of God. So, wherever you find yourself scattered today, this prayer that Paul is praying for the church at Philippi, that's my prayer for you and me, and that we would be filled with this fruit of righteousness to the glory and praise of God, that Jesus would make us so right and empower us for such right living, that there would be fruit in our lives. Again, that joy, that peace, that unity, that humility, all to the glory and praise of God. God bless and have a fruitful day through Jesus.